of us have thought about attempting to grow our own food. I just put together my own raised bed planter. We'll see how that goes. But for so many people, we don't know where to start or don't have the space. Community gardens are filling that gap and bringing people together at the same time. And to talk about so much more with the community gardens, let's bring in Amos DeRosier with the West Bloomfield Parks. Thank you for being with us this morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I am great. I had the opportunity to see the community garden last week. I was out for the Beekeeper for a Day event. So impressive.
Yeah, the Beekeeper for a Day was it's a separate event that was put on by our naturalist, and that is new. That was, I guess, it was put out there by Bees in the D and Henry Ford just a couple years ago. So that is a lovely addition to Carner Farm.
So the farm, the community garden that I saw, it was really quite substantial. How does it work?
So the garden for West Bloomfield Parks is for individual families, and we do allow currently just one household per plot because we have such an extensive wait list. But what we provide is the garden area. Each family gets a plot that's about 360 square feet, and it is solely for them. So they will do all the labor and harvest, everything for themselves. We just provide a water source and the land.
Two of the most important things, though, really.
Absolutely, yes.
How has it been going? I know that this isn't a new program, but it's become more popular.
Well, yeah, so back in the day, I've only been overseeing the garden for a handful of years. And recently I did some research to find some of our archives, and I found that the garden started in 1975 on a very empty area of land that was allowed West Bloomfield Parks to use it. It was at the corner of Farmington and 15 Mile. There was no fence, there was no water. It was just an empty field. So yes, so now the garden is fully fenced in. We have a water source that's there almost every third plot. I actually just forgot what the initial question you asked me. I have all these things floating through my brain.
That's okay.
About the garden.
So Amos, can I ask you,
Yes.
because I think the water source is such a big thing for so many of these community gardens. Kegel Harbor, we just started, it's very small, but I noticed that people have to bring their own water. So how does that work over at the community garden?
Yeah, so, and that actually, we do have water spigots. So we have a water source, which is great. And over the last few years, we were able to actually add additional spigots. So now there is a water spigot that is only shared by like every third gardener.
Do you guys have any control over what's planted, or can people plant flowers versus food? How does that work?
They're pretty much open to planting whatever they like. Right now, the only rules that we have set up is that height-wise, they don't plant anything that will inhibit and like shade their partners or their neighbor's garden. So some people are planting things like corn. It's usually very rare, small amounts of corn, and usually it's in the middle of their plot. So they are trying to respect their neighbors. Lots of cornflowers, lots of annual flowers for sure. We have a lot of experienced gardeners that have been out there for more than 15 years.
Oh my gosh. So I wish I knew them and I had a plot next to them, because
they do have a lot of information to share.
Right? Because there really is kind of a science to getting things to grow. Do you guys do anything to the soil to help whatever people are planting grow, or that's kind of up to you to figure it out?
Yeah, currently the program that we offer, we rototill every season. So gardeners do use whatever they want during the season. Some have, use cardboard that does deteriorate by the spring. Some have mulch that they put down. Some do put manure towards the end of the season so that it gets rototilled in, but we don't currently add anything additional. It's just the current soil in the conditions as it is.
Okay, can I ask your secret? Do you have any secrets to keep the deer away? I love them. They're cute. We have a new baby in our area, and the baby is cute, but they like to eat my hydrangeas and everything I just planted.
They were just caught outside of our recreation center yesterday eating the hostas. But that is the one thing that was added to our current site is a deer fence. So a deer fence is a minimum of 8 feet, which does help keep the deer out. It doesn't often keep the tiny newborn bunnies, but it does keep the deer out.
Oh my gosh, but I'm thinking about this, like for my backyard, a big fence doesn't look so pretty. That's my husband. He's like, oh, we got to put, all you did with that raised planter was build a smorgasbord for the deer. So I'm trying to figure out how to keep them out. I've done the, what is it? You hang like Lever soap or Irish Spring soap and shavings and hair. It doesn't work.
Yeah, so well, besides a large fence, you can just add a very small chicken wire. A lot of people build just small chicken wire, surrounding their gardens, even if it's a small raised bed.
So when we're talking about the community garden, how many plots do you have?
Currently, there are 64 plots that are out there to be gardened.
I understand it's pretty popular.
It is very popular. Right now, COVID kind of made things a little bit slower. Before COVID, it was up to almost a 3-year wait list.
Wow.
At one point. Now it's about a year wait, one season, so that's not so bad. So usually if people get on the wait list, we get them in. So I would say out of the 65 each year, there's about 10 to 15 spots that I fill each year.
Oh my goodness. So Amos, can I ask you, because I know that some of these community gardens and urban farming has really been kind of like the it thing now, especially we're seeing a lot in the city of Detroit. But in West Bloomfield, you guys have kind of led the way on this. How much has it impacted your community? Have you found that it's brought people together?
So interesting enough, I have been with West Bloomfield for 15 years, and before managing the program of the community garden, I was primarily doing customer service. So talking to all of the customers and finding out the different concerns they had about the garden. So once I took over the program, one of the things I did learn was that they felt there wasn't as much of a sense of community out there because they could go anytime and not necessarily see one another. So one of the things that we did add is a private Facebook group for the West Bloomfield Community Garden specifically, so that they can, at least amongst themselves, really form that community bond and share information with each other. A goal is maybe in the future to do more to interact with the community at large, whether that would be like a sale, if they wanted to try to set up a little garden sale. I don't know what that would look like, but right now, really we are trying to get those 65 families to really get to know each other, to bond and share their stories, share their experiences. So I have seen that grow, which is really great. I've gotten a lot of great feedback.
So do you like to garden? Are you a good gardener?
I have gardened during COVID when we were slow. I did take a plot out there because I couldn't fill all of the plots. So I did have that opportunity. It does take a lot of effort and a lot of time. I was successful with some very small pumpkins. But yes, it was a lot. I do garden at home. We love tomatoes, so that is our focus here at our home in Burntown.
How excited were you when you saw that pumpkin or that tomato?
I was very excited. It is. Having the fruit of your labor is quite a fun experience.
I had a little tomato plant last year, and I was watching, I had 2 little baby tomatoes, and I was watching and talking to them every day. And just when they were about ready to be picked, and not even enough for a salad, I went out and they were gone because the deer came and ate them. I was like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I love that. So any gardening tips that you can offer us?
Well,
do you talk
honestly,
to your plants?
We do talk to our plants. We welcome them to our garden when we plant them, hoping that will give them a little encouragement. But honestly, it really depends on, where your garden is, how it's set up. Everybody has, even out at our community garden, sometimes they struggle with mites, with slugs, with different, different things. But there's a lot of information out there on the internet, which is very helpful for the different scenarios. But yeah, just really enjoying what you're doing, I think, is really, regardless, being out there, putting your hands in the dirt, and hoping for the best. Usually people enjoy it, even if their harvest is not bountiful. They still really enjoy the experience.
Right. And then you get some of the neighbors where they're dropping off like zucchini and cucumbers and tomatoes because they get too many, and I can't even get one little tomato to grow.
That's a true story.
Amos, it was so fun. Hey, if people want to find out more to get on the wait list, how can they do that?
Yes, they can just call up to our front desk at the Recreation Center and talk to our customer service team, 248-451-1900. They will just get all their information and they will add them to the wait list, which is ongoing. So once you're added to the wait list, you will be there until you hear from us.
Oh, so even next year or the year after.
Correct.
So
Correct.
Once you get on it, you're on it. That's good to know. Is there a fee associated with it, by the way?
Yes, $40 for residents. We currently have a handful of non-residents. That's currently 50. Again, depending year to year on the demand by residents. We definitely service our residents first of West Bloomfield. So we do offer some plots to non-residents as they are available, depending on demand.
Well, it seems like it's in a nice location, a very relaxing location. You can go out there, get your hands dirty, pick your vegetables, and enjoy Mother Nature. So for those that don't know where it is, do you want to fill us in?
So yes, it's at Carner Farm, which is on Halstead Road between 15 and 16 Mile. It shares a home with our dog park. But yes, that is where it is located.
I love that barn out there too. It looks so...
It is a gorgeous place.
Right?
And if you're out there on a beautiful day, the sky is amazing because there is not a lot of trees around. So you have an absolutely beautiful view of the sky. And it is very relaxing.
Oh, well, Amos, thank you so much for being with us, and happy gardening.
Thank you. You as well. Good luck with those tomatoes.
Right. Hey, by the way, if you have any extras, you can just drop them off on the front doorstep here at Civic Center TV. We'll eat them.
All right. Sounds good.
Have a happy day. Thank you again for being with us.
You as well.